Hi, this is Freya with another singing tip, and today I actually want to talk about the question, should you ditch your vocal teacher? If you want to find out, please stay tuned. Now, if you have a vocal coach or a voice teacher, that is an awesome thing because nothing can replace one-on-one work where someone actually can watch you personally and give you feedback and correct you and watch what you're doing. That is the best way and probably the most efficient way to learn how to get a better voice. Even professional singers, if they're the good ones, they do have vocal coaches that they work with. Even if they're the best singers in the world, they still need someone to give them feedback because others from the outside perceive you differently and they can tell from the outside what the problems are, if you have tension, and then prescribe some exercises or things you should do. Now, what are some signs if your vocal coach doesn't exactly suit you? It doesn't mean that he or she is a bad teacher. It just means maybe that he or she doesn't suit you and you should maybe look for someone else. Now, the first thing is if you have the feeling that you're not making any progress. Now, granted, you're probably not going to feel a huge progress after 4 lessons. Give it some time. But if you've taken lessons for, let's say, 1 or 2 years, and you feel like you're pretty much the same as in the beginning, then that's probably a good sign that you're not going anywhere, and you should probably look for someone else, that you have the feeling that something is actually happening. Number 2, your voice is getting worse. Now that is, of course, the worst case scenario. You don't want your voice to become worse. Now, sometimes, of course, and that's what happened to me with my teacher many years ago, I worked and I did all the exercises and I did what she wanted me to do for a whole year, and then my voice did what she wanted to do, and then all of a sudden she started telling me the opposite. Not the opposite, but like, okay, now I want you to do it this way. And I was like, what does she want from me? For 1 year, she wants me to do it this way, and she wanted me to kind of darken the voice and be fuller and have this kind of a dark quality a little bit without lowering the larynx though. And then all of a sudden she wants me to brighten up all the time. It's like, what the heck does she want from me? But later I understood, okay, first she wanted me to gain some volume and just to really get my voice and to get those frequencies in there to where I get the feeling how it feels to open up that space and to really get out, to get more confident in order to then find the nice pingy sound again. I understand that now, but my voice never was worse. So if you have the feeling your voice is worse, also if you have the feeling you get hoarse a lot after your voice lessons, that may not be a good thing. You should always have a voice teacher who explains to you where the limits are of what you should do and how much strain is okay and where the limit is to where it is not healthy anymore. So follow your gut feeling. The next thing I really get crazy about is like, okay, this gets me. When a vocal coach wants to make you a clone of their own voice and pretty much they keep telling you to sing just like they do, that is not a good thing. Now, of course, I want my students to do technical things that I do, but I don't try to achieve a sound like mine because nobody's going to sound like me. And in any student, I try to find out what is their strength and where's their natural voice. And probably it's not going to be where I am vocally. It's going to have a different sound, and so it needs a different direction. So you don't want anybody to make a clone with them, right? And lastly, another thing is, if you feel like you're not understanding, what if the teacher, you feel comfortable and everything, but you're just not understanding? They don't explain to you and you don't get what they want. And why is it that she or he wants me to do that exercise? I'm always really big on explaining why I do anything with my students. I was like, okay, this exercise is really great for practicing, let's say, opening your throat, or this exercise is really good for feeling the difference between very much tight vocal closure and very loose vocal cord closure. So I always try to explain what's behind that exercise and why I'm doing it, because my end goal is that my student can one day go off into the world and sing and understand their own voice, and not just like, they're not going to have me beside them all the time. And I don't want that. I want them to be confident and understand their voice to where they have confidence and they can kind of troubleshoot their own voice. And it's like when something goes wrong, they can go like, okay, this went wrong. My voice cracked because I didn't support enough. And Freya always told me that you need to have good support in order to have that air column that really has enough mass to help the vocal cords vibrate, to have an even airstream. So I want this to become your little bird in your head. So that's another thing. If you have a vocal coach that you don't feel comfortable with and you feel like you're not going anywhere, don't be shy. Even try out someone. And I think it's actually great to change vocal coaches every once in a while and to try out someone new. Doesn't mean your old one isn't good, but if you have the feeling that, okay, I think I'm at the limit now with that person and I've learned their approach, maybe you want to go somewhere else, because I believe in taking the best from what everybody has to offer and just making it your own. That's why I believe you should totally watch everybody else's videos here on YouTube who is a vocal coach. Maybe not everybody's, but everybody's videos who you feel has really good, well-founded insights and that you feel you connect with, that you like. Watch everybody's videos. There are great vocal coaches on here, and do everybody's programs. Just take what's good for you and leave out what's not good for you. Well, thank you so much for watching today. Hope you're going to be back next week. And follow me on Instagram. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I do Instagram stories, and I would love to connect with you. And don't forget, always keep on singing and always keep a song in your heart. Bye.